みんな笑ってくれたら嬉しいです。
You know, sometimes Japanese can become very serious.
なぜなら時に日本人はもうすごい真剣になってしまうんです。
Yeah, like that is good.
だから笑うのいいです。
So with anointing,
油注ぎがあったら
God brings provision.
神様は必要の満たしをもたらします。
When the anointing is upon you,
油注ぎがあなたにあるとき、
your spiritual eyes open
あなたの霊の目が開きます。
to see vision.
ビジョンが見えるように。
Vision, not necessarily you see moving pictures. Vision stands also in terms of godly plans that God has given you.
ビジョンというのは必ずしも目で見るものというよりも、神様があなたに持っているそのような計画を知るということ。
I saw a vision.
私、ビジョンを見たんです。
This was an open vision.
それはもう目の開かれたビジョンで
It
した。
terrified my heart.
もう私、心が震えたんです。
I was so afraid.
もう私、怖くなりました。
Do you know what I saw?
私が何を見たと思いますか？
I was not sleeping.
私は眠っていたのではなかったんです。
I saw wars.
私は戦いを見ました。
I saw the world has broken into wars.
世界がこの戦い、もう戦争に入っていくのを見たんです。
Chaos came all over the world.
もうものすごい混乱が世界中にやってきました。
Problems and chaotic.
もうすごい問題と混乱。
Problems flashing the whole world.
もう問題が世界中にあったんです。
And there was a great confusion.
そしてものすごい混沌がありました。
I was so afraid.
私は怖くなりました。
This was not a vision. This was not only like something I should temper for. It is something surely.
これはもう何か感じたとかそういうことではなくて、本当に確かなことなんです。
And whatever I say this,
私がこれを言うことは何でも、
I ask you to record it.
これをどうぞ録音するようにとお願いしたいと思います。
It will come.
それは必ずやってきます。
Then the Lord showed me.
主が私に見せました。
Let me quickly show you, okay?
皆さんに少しそれ分かち合いたいと思います。
So that we can also pray about it.
だから皆さんもそれのことを祈れるように。
Okay?
いいですか？
Can I show you quickly, okay?
皆さんに言っ
Just
ても
show
いいで
me.
すか？
This is prophetic.
これは予言的です。
Of course, I'm not a prophet. I'm a pastor.
私は預言者ではなくて牧師ですけれ
But
ど、
I want to tell you some few things.
でも皆さんにいくつかのことを言いたいんです。
Are you ready now? Just quickly.
皆さん準備できていますか？短く。
This is very important.
これとても重要です。
To the White House.
Yep.
Okay, you had another download. Your track record is amazing on what God tells you. What did God reveal to you this time?
Yeah. I've never before been willing to talk about this kind of stuff publicly because you need people that can believe, that operate in the supernatural, that understand the difference between fraud and real, and we don't have a whole lot around, so I've always just kind of stayed in my shell and shared it privately with people close to me. This time, we are preparing to make a prediction.
Do it right now.
It'll be the biggest one we've ever made before. Him and I are working on the 400 pages of it, but here it is in a nutshell, that the Islamic nation is going to use a weapon of mass destruction. This is all going to start happening within the next 48 months. But here's the thing. It's going to play out in ways people don't see.
Tell me.
In that when it happens, Pope Francis is going to call for the revitalization of the Christian rules for just war. That's a very important statement. It's part of deep theology. Well, it means that we can justify fighting a war if we can meet certain criterion that are outlined by both Catholic and evangelical theologians. You have to meet certain criterion. He's going to call for that, but the Islamic nation is going to see that as a fulfillment of their 450-year-old hadith, which says that at the end times they would go to war against the army of Rome. And people have thought,
but Rome doesn't have a big army.
They're going to, because there's going to be a coalition army. It's going to be made up of the United States, United Nations, Britain, Muslim countries are going to come in, but they're going to see their Christian justification for this war through this call by the Pope, and that's why the Muslims are going to see this as a new crusade, the final crusade, a battle against the armies of Rome. However, in the same way that the end of World War II led to Zionism finally getting its legs under it, the United States, Britain, the United Nations started calling for a Jewish state, a Jewish nation, and in 1948, what happens? A miracle happens. The nation of Israel, the fig tree blossoms, right? And guess what happens? The church that was asleep at that moment, they saw prophecy unfolding before their very eyes, and it gave birth to what we today call the Age of Fire, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s. Your old friend Catherine Kuhlman, A.A. Allen, Billy Branham, tent revivals, tabernacle revivals. It gave birth to one of the greatest revivals in the history of humanity, and that is what I'm going to predict. A lot of my prophetic friends don't even believe me. They say America's going down. I think we could, by the way, have an economic collapse. Some of that stuff could happen, but I don't see that the church is dead. What I see is that we are right now near the first fruits of the greatest revival in the history of humanity.